Okay, so you're feeling tired, migraines. You were telling me heart palpitations too.
Yeah, my heart would like. I never had any heart issues ever. I know what heart issues are. I have a little brother that has one, and it's just nothing. Just my heart kept beating really fast, and I couldn't like. It seems like when your wind would just kick out of you, and I was like, oh. And then like I don't know. I think it was the end of 2015, early 2016. I had to go to the hospital because I thought I was having a heart attack. Come to find out, like, no, you're got a thyroid issue. There's like a big, huge nodule on your right side. So they're like, you're gonna have to go get that biopsied. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? I never had any thyroid issues or nothing. Never, like, I'd go get regular blood work done because of my headaches, and you know, that came back some weird pseudo tumor of some sort, too much fluid, and I was like, what? I've never had any issues ever. Not with migraines, not with being tired or having my heart like not high blood pressure, nothing ever. I was
Were you working during this time?
yeah, yeah. I was doing bookkeeping. I don't do that. I don't do that no more. It's too much work, too much math.
Okay, so basically, you start basically experiencing these things with your thyroid problems, and I believe soon after that there was something they found something on your kidney as well.
Yeah, it was about the same time. Like after they seen the nodule, then they sent you in for a whole body scan, because they were like, well, thyroid just doesn't pop up. Maybe it started somewhere else, and they're like, maybe it started from your kidneys or something. And they did, and they seen like some little thing on my kidney, but they just went and wanted to cure what they could cure first, which the easier part is the thyroid. Take them out and call it a day. But I ended up with complications during the surgery, so I took one and not the other.
One of the
Yeah,
thyroid lobes.
thyroid. They did a partial thyroidectomy, so they took out just the one that was cancerous at the time. So
So the other one's still in there.
yeah, still in there I'm not trying to be funny, but trying to kill me every day. So
So basically, in a span of, it sounds like you started having health problems like 6 months to a year after the water switch.
yeah, because we moved in here in 2014, but we lived in this neighborhood like 8, 9 years. I've lived in this neighborhood my whole life, but when me and my husband got together, we've been in this neighborhood since. We've been married 12, 13 years now. So
And it seems that it went from a thyroid issue, then kidney spots, to then thyroid cancer.
yeah.
And you never in your mind thought, did you ever in your mind think it could have been the water or it could have been?
No, I didn't think any. I was like, no. Well, I mean, there's no family history of that type of cancer. I mean, there's tank cancer, men cancer, and no, not breast cancer, just that cancer, like
Which cancer?
prostate cancer. Both my grandpas died of that. So it's like, and nothing like that. No, both of my brothers are healthy and fine, and nothing wrong with them. So there was nothing wrong with my dad. He doesn't have a thyroid issue. And my mom had just passed away from dementia. So I mean, other than that, there's nothing like no thyroid issues or cancers like that.
So the test that the state official took in your home where he let the water run for a minute, that came back no lead.
No one.
Did you get results for the test that you sent in?
Yeah, both like the ones I did, nothing. But it did come back high in copper. But again, we're just like, what does that mean? Like they don't really explain it to you. Like they'll explain to you lead, like it comes back lead, blah blah blah. But copper, we're just like, what? Nah, okay. Like we didn't think nothing of it. But that's why we just like threw it away. We didn't think we're keeping it or nothing. We're just like, oh, it's just another piece of paperwork to hold on to. Like no lead, who cares? Like our house is fine. Which like when I tell people when they move into this neighborhood, I'm like, oh, we never tested high for lead, and then I would feel bad. Now I'm like, oh, maybe I just lied.
And do you think the majority of residents in Flint, I mean, you went to college, Flint's mostly poor. Do you think the majority of residents would know, A, that state officials weren't supposed to be taking the water samples for them, or that they weren't supposed to be, it's called flushing. When you run the water like that before you take the sample, it's called flushing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not dumb by any means at all. Like we make 42, 43,000 a year, so it's I think other people, like the older people down the street or something, we just didn't know. Like they were not supposed to come in your house. So, and at the time, I'm just like, oh, it's state official. Like, I probably should let them take the sample they need so they can be done with it.
And also, as I was reporting this story, I asked you to try and get your paperwork back, and it seems like from your exchanges with them, they weren't in such a hurry to send you that paperwork.
No, I told them I needed it for my doctor, which like, my doctor probably, he wanted to look at it and see, but they wouldn't. I gave you everything they gave me, and they never get back hold of me. And I emailed them several times without them emailing me back. So.
But on the phone, he told you, yeah, we'll send it back.
Yeah, he said on the phone, and that email I gave you, he said, yeah, I'm going to look into it and I'll get it back to you. Because he did find my house, and what he told me over the phone was really weird because he's like, oh, it said, he read off one of the samples. He's like, there's lead. I was like, what? And I was like, how is there lead? Like, I never got any one of those things, never said lead. And he's like, he said copper then lead. And I was like, what? He's like 0 point something, which like wasn't enough, like where people are getting like the high numbers. It was like none. I was like, what? That was like really weird phone conversation. And like when I said what, he's like, okay, I'll get back to you. I'll email it to you or mail it to you. And I was like, okay. And then I had kept asking him about it. And I was like, I really need this for my doctor, and nothing.
And in light of our reporting, which, by the way, we found at least 31 homes this happened in, where 17 of those 31 homes, officials came in and ran the water and took the samples themselves. 14 others told us that the officials told them to do it, so they flushed. And you had both. You had they did it, and they told you to do it. But what do you think now? Are you kind of thinking that who knows how you originally got sick, but are you worried that you drank that water much longer and you don't know what the actual lead levels were here?
I mean, just like, I almost want to cry, but it's like I let my kids drink it, and I drank it, my husband drank it. I don't mean to cry, but I don't know. Like, could I have not have gotten sick if I did it the right way, if I just paid for the sink myself, or I don't know.
And let's not sugarcoat it. It's kind of like you can't work anymore. You've been basically housebound, and you recently, welcome to America, they kicked you off your health insurance because your husband makes too much. So right now you're not really getting treatment because you can't afford it.
Can't afford nothing. I can afford to pay my water bills so they don't come shut us off. I can pay for groceries and our car that we need to get back and forth to work, but I can't. It's not, the healthcare system just sucks. I could leave my husband and get healthcare, but I couldn't. They're gonna do it.
And what's really the bottom line is, like, a lot of residents have actually said when they've gone to doctors, whether in Flint or surrounding areas, the doctors kind of, I don't want to say poo-pooed it, but basically said, well, we don't know if that's because of the lead, and didn't always draw cause and effect between like the lead that residents consumed and issues. But I mean, going around, literally, we couldn't go a block or two without somebody that, like, couple homes where somebody just died. Not always old people, like people in their 40s and their 50s. We couldn't go. There were a lot of homes. There were a lot of blocks where, I mean, you had 40-year-old, 30-year-old women or people with cancers, autoimmune issues, this and that. And it's not like you're getting Medicare for all. It's not like you're getting, money came from Congress for Flint, but where is it really going? Because you have residents like you who are sick, and you're basically, because your husband technically makes too much, what do you have, like a $13,000 deductible you have to meet?
$13,000 deductible I have to meet before the insurance will pick up anything. So I have health care, so I don't get penalized, but I don't have health care that I can actually use.
So basically right now, you're kind of think you're in remission, but because you can't get blood work,
Can't get blood work. I just stopped going to treatment, stopped going to doctors. Like, I'm just kind of like you're stuck in limbo. You don't know what's wrong with you. I'm still really tired. Like, some days I'm tired to where I can't do nothing. Like, I'll probably be like Sleeping Beauty, just sleeping all day. And then other days I'll be like, oh, I'm full of energy. I got this. I can do it today. And then other days back to like, oh, I'm so sick. I can't eat nothing. I can't, you know.
and you got 3 kids, and your husband has had to take extra shifts and extra work because you can't work.
Yeah, he found a better job at the beginning of this year. He went back to an old job to be kitchen manager where he makes more money to be able to, where I don't have to work. So
So it's basically, but you are working. You have 3 kids, so
Yeah,
like
I
while you're sick, you have to basically when he's at work.
while he's at work, I'm taking care of them, taking them to and from school, and make sure their homework's done. Like, I was always at home mom, but I had like a side job that I would do to bring in some sort of money, but I can't really do that.
And when you see the governor in April, he's saying, well, our data shows that the water levels are now, quote, restored. He shut down the water pods that I believe you and other residents were depending on. Do you have time to go sit in line at a church for 3 to 5 hours for, I think they're giving like 2 or 3 cases of water?
No, I don't. I can't. I couldn't sit in the line for 3 to 5 hours the way I felt. Like, when they shut down the pods, my uncle had made sure like we got a few cases of water, but you know, you got 3 kids and a husband and you drinking the bottled water. I couldn't. My brother sat in that line and he ran out of gas.